the curriculum at the Teachers Council Day last Friday for SOGI, which is Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity, which is a curriculum that's been in the BC schools for the last year, and they are wanting to bring to New Brunswick. The fact that there were parents that were protesting at the Hanwell School on Friday, our NBTA president, Connie Keating, and the Pride group that are bringing this in, the Pride in Education, or PI, Gail Costello, who I would really like to know who she is and why she has a right to be involved in this, because she's not a teacher, and I would love to know what her credentials are to put her in that curriculum in front of our kids. They publicly called all of the parents, everyone who was there, haters. And I have said publicly I would like to know when they decided that hate and concern are synonymous, when hate and anger are synonymous. They are doing everything they can to shut down anyone who says anything, which means we need to say it louder and stronger and more. So they had their protest yesterday against the government, and the article that came out by CBC, the parent who was interviewed commented that this is terrible, they're reviewing it because it has to mean they're going to take it. And it's like, have people lost the ability for cognitive thought? Reviewing a policy does not mean removing a policy. I can understand there being a policy for protection of trans kids, but you know what? Not one of them deserve more protection than our other kids, who are the majority. Every child has a right to dignity. Every child has a right to speak. Every child has a right to voice their views. And this week, in a school in this province, there was a teacher who told their class they were going to create posters and flags for the teachers and allies at the protest on Friday. 2 boys in that class, grade 6, said we're not comfortable with that. And their teacher called them homophobes, went directly to the blackboard, drew a line down the middle with allies on one side and homophobes on the other, and spent the rest of the class doing a discussion about how we must support them or we're homophobes. It's not true, it's a lie. And they are indoctrinating our kids in every way they possibly can. One of the things that I think should send chills down the back of every parent and grandparent in this province is one part of 713, which says that if a child identifies as trans and comes up with another name, they are to encourage the child to tell their parent, but if the child is hesitant to tell their parent, that's okay. They'll keep it as a secret at school, and they will promote their identity, and they will utilize their name privately. Privately. They are teaching children to keep secrets from their parents. They're teaching children that they care more about them than their parents. They are lying to parents. These teachers need to be held accountable. Even if they're doing it because they supposedly don't have a choice, they do. They do. That policy needs to be changed. If nothing else, that needs to be changed. And I'm sorry, people could say, oh, well, maybe they're afraid of them being bullied. Teachers know by this long in a school year if a parent is a problem. If the parent is a problem, the child can talk to them, and they should say sorry. If you can't talk to your parent, we can't identify you that way here. They need to give parental control back to the parents, back to the home where it belongs. I was talking to my son shortly before I came today, and I told him what I was doing and what we were here for, and he said, this is on Dominic Carty, which I agree. He kept taunting the parents that they're not your kids, they're the parents' kids, or they're the government's kids. My son said, all right, if they want to stand between a child and their parents, the parents should say, okay, give me my money for supporting them. I'm now a foster parent. Give me my monthly check for feeding them, clothing them, sending them to school, and giving them a bed.
Yeah.
If they're your kids and you're going to stand between me and them, then you bloody well pay the bill.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Right on.
We need to stand up.
Right on.
you all are. Thank you for being here and listening. And I know there are a lot of people that are with us and just couldn't be with us today. But yeah, share the information. We need to stand up. Our kids deserve it.
Thank you.